Archangel Michael and Jesus speak with peace, because your heart is ready to receive clarity right now, beloved soul. Pause gently and let your heart settle, because this message is not meant to frighten you or place weight upon your spirit. Divine voices do not speak through threats or countdowns. They speak through peace that restores, clarity that steadies, and love that reassures. This moment is not about losing anything. It is about remembering what has always been present with patience and care. When words like "chosen" appear, they are not meant to separate you from others or pressure you into reaction. They are meant to acknowledge that understanding arrives personally, at the pace the heart can receive it calmly. God does not withdraw presence because you were distracted. Divine love does not disappear when life becomes busy. It remains constant, waiting gently for quiet moments like this, where listening feels natural rather than forced. This message invites you to release the idea that connection depends on seconds passing or actions taken immediately. Connection grows through openness, not urgency. You are not being asked to rush, prove devotion, or fear loss. You are being invited to breathe, to feel grounded, and to notice how reassurance replaces tension when pressure is removed. If you have ever felt pulled in many directions, know that heaven understands the noise of human life. Distraction does not offend the divine. Fatigue does not weaken love. This message comes now not because time is running out, but because your heart is ready to receive calm understanding. Readiness looks like quiet attention, not alarm. The presence being spoken of here is not something fragile that can be lost. It is steady, supportive, and patient. Divine companionship does not depend on urgency to remain real. It accompanies you whether you pause or move forward, whether you listen now or later. What is true remains. Let the idea of "open immediately" soften into something gentler. Open yourself calmly. Open your awareness without fear. Open your heart without bracing. When you do, clarity settles naturally. Peace replaces strain. Understanding feels familiar, as if it has always been nearby. This first part is meant to ground you, not pull you. Notice how your breathing becomes easier when reassurance replaces pressure. This is how heaven begins a conversation, with respect for your peace and trust in your ability to listen without fear. Stay gently present with this moment, beloved soul, because what continues now is meant to deepen calm rather than heighten emotion. Divine communication does not intensify pressure as it unfolds. It softens it. This message is not moving toward urgency, it is moving toward understanding. When reassurance grows, the heart relaxes, and relaxed hearts hear more clearly. That clarity is what this part invites you into. You are not being addressed as someone who must react quickly. You are being addressed as someone who can listen thoughtfully. Thoughtful listening creates space for wisdom. Wisdom does not rush. It settles. It aligns. It brings the mind and heart into agreement. This is why the tone remains gentle. What is meant to guide you does not need fear to hold your attention. If earlier words felt intense on the surface, allow their meaning to soften here. Divine presence is not something that disappears because attention shifts. It is constant, patient, and steady. You are not at risk of losing anything sacred by pausing or reflecting. Reflection is honored. Stillness is welcomed. The heart is not tested by time, it is strengthened by peace. This part of the message invites you to notice how connection feels when it is healthy. Healthy connection does not demand. It reassures. It does not threaten absence. It confirms presence. You are not being told to hold on tightly. You are being invited to trust what already holds you. That trust grows when pressure fades. Sometimes words like chosen can feel heavy if they sound like expectation. Here, let them mean something lighter. Let them mean that this moment meets you personally, not urgently. Everyone receives understanding at different times, and timing honors readiness. Readiness feels like calm curiosity, not alarm. You are ready because you are listening without fear. This message is also about releasing the habit of urgency that life can teach us. Urgency keeps the body tense and the mind crowded. Divine guidance does the opposite. It creates room. Room for breath. Room for clarity. Room for trust. In that room, insight appears naturally. You do not have to chase it. If your thoughts try to imagine what will happen next, let them rest. There is nothing to anticipate. Anticipation tightens the heart. Presence opens it. What unfolds next will meet you where you are, without forcing you to be someone else or move faster than feels right. Alignment respects your pace. Notice how this message does not ask you to isolate yourself or keep secrets. Divine truth does not need secrecy to survive. It grows through openness and honesty. What strengthens the heart can be shared gently or held quietly, whichever feels natural. There is no rule here, only reassurance. This part also restores confidence in your inner sense. You know the difference between pressure and peace. Pressure feels tight. Peace feels steady. What comes from peace stays. What comes from pressure fades. Let peace be your guide. It will not mislead you. As this understanding settles, your breathing becomes easier, your thoughts less crowded. That ease is not accidental. It is the signal that reassurance has reached the heart. When reassurance is present, you do not need to hurry or defend. You can simply be. Let this part rest within you without effort. You are not being prepared for something overwhelming. You are being supported in staying grounded. Grounded hearts receive clarity gently. And clarity that arrives gently stays. Remain in this gentle stillness, beloved soul, because this is where reassurance deepens into quiet confidence and understanding becomes something you can carry forward without effort. Divine guidance does not escalate emotion as it continues, it refines it. The purpose of this message is not to hold your attention through intensity, but to help your heart recognize steadiness as its natural state. When steadiness returns, clarity follows without force. This part is about trust settling naturally. Trust does not require certainty about outcomes or timelines. It grows when the heart learns it does not need to brace itself. You have been learning this through experience, through moments when you chose patience over reaction and calm over urgency. Those choices were not small. They shaped your ability to listen now without feeling pressured. That ability is wisdom in a quiet form. You are not being asked to interpret words literally or to measure devotion by speed. Divine presence is not conditional. It does not withdraw because attention shifts. It does not diminish when life becomes loud. It remains steady, like a constant background of support. This message is simply helping you notice that steadiness again, so you can move forward without tension. If your thoughts try to look ahead or search for signs, gently allow them to rest. There is nothing you need to predict. Prediction can create strain, while presence creates ease. Presence allows you to meet life as it arrives rather than preparing for imagined scenarios. This is how peace becomes practical, not just emotional. This part also affirms your inner sense of discernment. Discernment is the ability to feel what aligns without needing external pressure to decide. It develops over time, through honesty with yourself and respect for your own pace. You have been developing it quietly. That is why this message feels grounding rather than overwhelming. You are capable of holding understanding without losing balance. Notice how this message does not isolate you or place you above or apart from others. Divine guidance does not create separation. It creates connection through empathy and calm awareness. You are not being elevated through urgency. You are being supported through steadiness. That steadiness allows compassion to remain intact, for yourself and for others. There is reassurance here about silence and pauses. Silence does not mean absence. Pauses do not mean delay. Often, they mean things are settling into place. When something is stabilizing, it does not need constant movement. Stability allows clarity to surface naturally. This is why divine reassurance often feels quiet. It respects the heart. If relief is beginning to replace tension, allow that relief to stay. Relief often arrives before visible change because it signals internal alignment. When alignment happens inside, life flows more smoothly outside. This flow does not need urgency to begin. It needs trust to continue. This part invites you to release comparison and self-measurement. You do not need to compare your listening, your understanding, or your pace to anyone else's. Divine awareness meets each heart personally. What matters is sincerity, not speed. You have been sincere in your journey, even when answers were not immediate. That sincerity is honored. As this understanding settles, it strengthens your inner footing. From that footing, decisions feel lighter, responses calmer, and trust more natural. You are not being guided toward action. You are being supported in awareness. Awareness keeps the heart open without pressure and the mind clear without strain. Let this part rest gently within you. You do not need to remember every sentence for it to matter. What matters has already begun to influence how you feel and think. This is how calm guidance works. It stays quietly and supports you as you move forward. Stay gently present for this closing moment, beloved soul, because divine messages do not end with commands or urgency, they end with peace that stays. What you have been receiving is not something fragile that needs your constant attention to survive. It is something steady that supports you quietly, even when your thoughts move on. Archangel Michael and the presence of divine love do not withdraw when you pause. They remain, patient and consistent, meeting you where you are without demand. This final part is not asking you to act, decide, or prove anything. It is inviting you to trust the calm that has settled within you. Calm is not emptiness. Calm is clarity that has found its place. When clarity settles, it does not shout. It rests. And when it rests, it becomes something you can rely on without effort. This is the kind of understanding meant to walk with you into ordinary moments. Not overwhelm them. You are not required to hold on to words, replay them, or look for signs that something must happen immediately. Divine alignment does not depend on your vigilance. It unfolds naturally, respecting your pace and protecting your peace. If something meaningful comes into your life next, it will fit rather than force itself. It will feel supportive rather than urgent. You will recognize it by the ease it brings, not by the pressure it creates. Archangel Michael reminds you that presence is not lost through distraction. Love is not withdrawn because life becomes busy. Compassion does not disappear when attention shifts. These are constants, not conditions. This message came not to test your attention, but to remind you that you are already supported without needing to rush or perform. As this series completes, notice how there is nothing left to anticipate. Anticipation can tire the heart, but peace restores it. God does not want you watching the clock or measuring moments. God wants you living with steadiness, because steadiness allows good things to arrive and stay. When you move forward from a place of calm, choices become clearer and responses gentler. This is also a moment of release. Release the idea that divine connection depends on urgency. Release the belief that silence means distance. Release the habit of preparing for loss where none is present. What belongs to you will meet you with respect for your calm. What aligns with your life will not require fear to keep it close. If you feel lighter now than when you began, that lightness is meaningful. It is the sign that reassurance has done its work. You do not need to carry this message tightly for it to matter. It will remain with you naturally, influencing how you breathe, how you decide, and how you trust. There is no final instruction here, and that is intentional. Divine reassurance ends with trust, not with tasks. Trust in timing. Trust in your inner sense. Trust that what supports your peace will find you without urgency. You are not being rushed forward. You are being supported where you stand. Let this be complete. Let it be enough. Step back into your day with the quiet confidence that you are guided without being pushed and cared for without conditions. What is meant to continue will continue gently. What is meant to settle will settle peacefully. And your heart can remain steady as you move forward, knowing that calm understanding is already with you. If this message brought calm to your heart, gently like and share it so this reassurance can reach someone who needs it today.